I'm Ron Amstutz, the chair of the House Finance and Appropriations Committee, and I have some things to build on what our Representative Adams just shared. Before I do that, I want to indicate that this team that has assembled in this session of the General Assembly is unique in my experience, and my experience started here as a member in 1981. I have never served with a team that has been more selfless and more focused on doing the right thing. They are here for the right reasons, and that has really been a joy as we have done and continue to do some very heavy lifting in the hard work that these folks have come here to do. As Representative Adams said, there's been a great deal of productivity in these first 100 days, and I want to add some features to how we've achieved that. The first thing that we did was right-size our committee structure. We have 99 members, and we need to have an optimum number of committees in order to get the work done that needs to be done. That actually is happening, I think, quite effectively with 10 fewer committees than we had last session. That's been helpful to balancing our workload and focusing it appropriately. In addition, Ohio has one of the leanest legislative budget operations in terms of our internal structure of any in the country, and we're continuing that. We are operating at a reduced level from last session, and we're recommending that we continue to operate at no increase in this next 2-year session in the budget that we're currently considering. Beyond that, we are attempting to introduce additional efficiencies, and one of the ways this is being done is through increased use, greater emphasis on electronic communication, which lowers our postage costs and our printing costs, and this is saving, we've estimated about $100,000 this session by expanding the use of electronic communication. Beyond that, we've attempted to, and I think have succeeded in further opening our process, and that's already been mentioned, as our amendments can be filed freely for House sessions as we deal with our legislative workload in that fashion. I'll have a bit more to say in a minute on another aspect of our electronics.
Thank you very much for being here today. I'm Barbara Sears. I'm the Assistant Majority Floor Leader. You know, it's great that we do a lot of good work, and it's excellent that we're all hardworking, but trying to bring the four corners of Ohio into Central Ohio is one of also our goals. And we're doing that in 3 different ways. Not only individually, our members Facebooking and tweeting and doing all sorts of things, but we're also starting to do that as a caucus. Example, several of our committees are using Skype in order to bring talent, shareholders, and interested parties into the caucus that otherwise couldn't make the drive to Columbus, Ohio to participate in the legislative process. It's a great way to make our world small. In addition to that, we tried and experiment successfully using Twitter during the Human Services Subcommittee as a means of being able to allow more people to participate in what's going on and keep them on a timely and efficient schedule by posting who was talking, when they were talking, whether we were on time, behind, breaking for lunch. So we didn't require Ohioans to spend wasted time here in committee meeting waiting for their opportunity to speak. You know, and it may seem small, but when you've got executives and folks driving 2-3 hours in to participate into the system, they need to know that there's going to be some timeliness and some orderness to that, and this has allowed us to do that. In addition, although we're not formally as a caucus doing Facebook through the meetings, I don't see any reason why we might not see that happening in the future. The ability to take advantage of technology is certainly something that we should be trying to do. You know, many of us don't live in Columbus, and yet we participate, and the more we can get involved with the work that's going on in Ohio, the more we can be respectful of people's time, we can be inclusive, and we can also be very transparent. So those are just 3 ways that we are attempting to do that. We'll turn it back over to Representative Amstutz to continue on. Thank you.
As we've been attempting to put together a budget that will become the House version of the budget, right now we're working off the administrative proposal, we have experienced a great deal of requests for information about how the executive proposal would impact our local government partners, and in particular schools. So what we've done and I want to thank the technical team both in the Legislative Service Commission and in the legislative information systems for how they work with us to, this is right off our state legislative webpage. You click on the far right panel and go right down to a tool that allows you to look up by county or by school district or see the entire database of impacts for the executive proposal for school funding and how that plays out, not just in terms of the foundation formula, but all the aspects that impact our schools and how that compares to the resources that they have to operate on at the local level, which is a very important comparison for the public to be able to understand, and also for even school officials who are trying to understand these impacts. So this tool is available, it's online now, and will be utilized as the budget process continues to help people understand budget impacts. It's part of our effort to try to help people with increased transparency of information. Thank you.
I think I'm supposed to say something. I just want to say, in conjunction with what Ron Amstutz said, that I've been here a long time. I first worked for John W. Brown, who was Lieutenant Governor at that time. In 1967, 1968, I became a member here, and over all of that time, this is the best group I've ever had to work with. Not just the members that you see up here, they're fantastic, but also the staff that supports these members. And I think it's going to result in a lot more substantial accomplishment in this session than any that I have seen. And I've been here a long time, as you can tell from those dates. Matter of fact, I was even able to induce Dick Hollington to come back, who I served with at the beginning in '68. And it's just been a very, very profitable for the people of Ohio session, but and more important, we have these wonderful people involved in it, whose sole purpose and goal is to get things done, to get them done right, and to see to it that the people of Ohio are properly served. Yes, sir.
Representative Hoffman's description of your efforts in the life issue didn't include House Bill 125 or House Bill 78. Why not? What's going to happen to those bills?
Well, I think that we're working on these bills. We're going to be moving forward on them. I would submit that that seems to be of real interest to the press. You know, we've been doing other things too that were important, but I think that this is the biggest step out, and I'm pretty well able to say that because I've sponsored, drafted, and prepared legislation in at least 6 sessions affecting the issues involving life. It's one of the most important things to our caucus, and we're going to complete a lot of work there. Things that I think sometimes gets lost in the shuffle. Let's take the case of pensions. That's a huge issue. We have a chairman of a committee, Lynn Watchman, and a chairman of the subcommittee, Kirk Cherry, who have worked hours and hours on those, but they're not ready yet. And the only thing worse than just dropping stuff and walking away from it without any concentration on it is to bring it to a boil before it's ready. And I've seen some stuff hit the floor that way in the past. And we're not going to do that. When it hits the floor, it's going to be in good shape. Numerically, obviously, the most important thing to each of us and to all of us together is jobs. 600,000 people in this state not working. There are a number of other things in this budget that we just ordinarily don't face in a budget. This is not a simple budget. If we start out with an $8 billion deficit, it's not going to be simple no matter what you would like to do. But above and beyond that, we have suggestions here from the governor's office about things that he wants to accomplish. And we want to be respectful of those things and have extensive investigation into what their long-term likelihood of success from those things is going to be. And we want to have all the members of the caucus understand what those departures from what's happened in the past might produce. And so as a result of that, we're definitely working on that. In fact, I think tonight we're having one of our caucuses to discuss those kinds of issues as they're going to affect Ohio in the future. This governor is not a governor who says, well, let's do what we did for the last 2 years and see if that helps. Matter of fact, I don't think this governor is going to ever come up to us with things that have been done for the last 2 years and see if it'll turn out differently by doing it again. That's a goofy concept, and the governor knows that. And he also obviously has a good, strong business background, which he is using and looking at these different possibilities. Well, I want to thank you for attending today. We appreciate this. We're all pretty excited about what's going on, and we will continue to provide you with a cornucopia of items in different committees by which you may both entertain and alert yourselves to great stuff for write-ups. Thank you.